Life has begun. Ooh. Hello, hello. Come on in. Come on in. Welcome. Welcome to the day. We're going to play with our cards a little bit more and see if we have some collective channels coming from the Celestials and from our beautiful spirit guides and our spirit guides of the higher realms. My name is Celeste, also known as Joanna. And we're moving forward in our beautiful co-creation of our seventh dimensional. Wow, we're really kicking it. Seventh dimensional. Oh, okay, we're moving up a step. We're gonna practice more with our clairs. I don't have any messages except I wanted to save the messages for our channeled time. So we're gonna practice channeling. So if you wanna get your journals for your clair and your gifts, skills, and talents work, your ascension path work, this is what we do here every day as we practice being higher vibrational, higher dimensional, because we're not waiting for anybody in church and state to provide you with the information. You're going to turn right to those that are the spiritual guides, gifted to you by Mother and Father, and the highest of the heavens. We've been here many times. We are the true creator gods. Been here many times from many lineages, many tribes, many shamans that we are, coming back to life. And we are going to birth many great things on the planet. And the first one is to trust and love yourself as a multidimensional being, as a divine being, so that you're not talking yourself back into small little boxes that you don't fit in. You never did fit in, and you never wanted to be in, but they were kind of notions and ideals and belongings from dogma, from lineage, from the Akashic frequencies that you're here to transcend. Everything that was, we are here to transcend. Everything that was is not supposed to stay. We're meant to change, dear lighted ones. It is one of the universal truths. It is one of the most omnipresent truths of all time. Every second things change. We are meant to change. We should not be learning from the same books we learned from when our parents and our parents' parents and parents and parents' parents were going to school. Science will change as our consciousness changes, and that is another truth. We're altering the very aspects of quantumness because we are all becoming more quantumly. We're all becoming more active in the quantum field, the omnipresent field. I posted some very interesting videos this morning, so if you'd like to go back and touch on those, they talked about the quantumness and the omnipresent field, and some beautiful information from some technology that we'll be doing, some of us adding to the experiences that we're moving through, the 3 E's, and AI will be a part of it. AI is only a tool. It should not overrun every part of our roles and every part of our jobs. And our lives. AI should not be a replacement for anything, but just adding to our scientific study, period. It shouldn't overcome and overtake our businesses to replace anything that humans are doing. There's a lot of concern in the younger world, in the youth world, because what about those beings that we're meant to? We're going to have many great dialogues, as we just saw. 20 people signed on at once, 30 people signed on at once. So the Interpol investigations will be watching these that have their IP addresses. This is a channel where I talk about higher consciousness things, so I do channel a lot, and most channels shut their eyes when they channel. So if that bothers you, you can move away from my platform. Thank you, Cluedo, for just knocking these people off, because if you just see 30 just signed on, most of them are paid haters. So again, they're just trying to get at me, and they're just trying to do what they do. So anyways, they're still being investigated, and the church and state authorities are not doing anything. So it's just a matter of when I receive the money, then I'll be going against my own criminal lawsuits, because church and state don't care about anything. But anyways, that's who they are, and they'll be left on Epstein Earth all by themselves with no light workers, because they've tried to attack them all and take them all out and give them no support and no providence of due process. And so they will sit where they will sit. Everybody's going through karma right now, so good luck with it, because you're not protected. And so anyways, what we're moving into is seventh dimensional, pulling on some of our seventh dimensional gifts and skills and talents, which I felt is kind of a download the other day from the Celestials. Part of the energies that we're walking into right now, close to the equinox, is activating a lot of more of our celestial gifts and skills, because again, it's all about the DNA activation, right? It's all about the DNA activation. Most of us have been on this path for quite a while, and those of us that are teachers and at the front line, we've been on this path for about 20 years. And so we've worked through a lot of our 51% of our karma that we're meant to work on. Every human is meant. Did you see that that spirit light? I don't know if you guys seen that. So I just thought I'd say yesterday, if anybody wanted to go watch the video that I had yesterday, and I think it was about just over halfway through, there was a huge rectangle box of light that happened on the wall. And this is a closed room, so there's no light that really gets in here. And so I just wanted to say that. And then there was also a flashing light that just went like that above the wall. So I saw it. I don't know if anybody else saw it. So just that you know that Spirit is always working with us, even if it's a closed room. And there's nothing behind me except the wall, closed wall. It's a little tiny study office. It's a study hall. And so there's a door right there, and there's a door there, and that's the inside door to the inside, and that's a door right there to the inside. So it's like study halls. So I just thought I'd mention that. So just always watch out for the light that flickers in and out my aura, and they got the fairies and stuff coming in and out. So always welcome them in. I always love Spirit, and I set the room and space before I come in always, as I'm connecting to the highest beings of holy light. And I do work with the celestial beings and the systems of light. The systems of light are with all-encompassing, all dimensions up to the 13th, through all histories of Earth's timelines. I do speak with the beginning of Earth now that I'm coming into contact with Earth's histories, and many of the earliest timelines for us, so that I'm activating a culmination of energy. That's my role, and I'm just waking into these culminated aspects of my soul's blueprint, and how I am becoming a greater and grander soul of offering from the Divine Source Creator experience. As conduits, we offer Source Creator energy. We offer Source Creator codes, Christ Consciousness codes. So it is important that we have some information and knowledge from the earliest of times of Earth and to where we're at right now, and then where she is moving into the galactic bedding, and then how and what and why we see as creator gods. Very excited to create. That's why I'm here. I've always been a creator. Very excited to create and open up that crayon box and burst into new experiences. But we do have membranes that we have to break, and those membranes are the very thickest of our lineage, our Akashic, our familial, and our social imprints. And those imprints are carried through many different ways and things. They're carried through the thought forms, thought projections, our thought projections, and we can take a few examples, if you will. What are thought projections? They sit in the omnipresent field, they sit in the God field, they sit in the field that we all sit and exist within, and why we can pick up thought forms from other people, those of us that are psychically connected, and why we have to clear our fields every now and then throughout the day. So those thought fields can exist from, if we're thinking about, if we want to take opinions from, and this is how readers read, and this is how conduits read and psychics read. If we take any one topic, i.e., how are the Divine Feminine moving forward in the collective's energy for New Earth Star experience? How are their energies? What are they? What are their foundations? What are their excitements? How are they moving along? So we tap into the field of experience, and we can read the imprints, we can read the expressions, we can read the thought forms of where the collective is at any given moment. That's what we do as readers. We read the energy of the collective at the moment. And so what we're going to do when we have our cards is we're gonna follow the same process. We're gonna do a 3-card reading, and we're always gonna do the heavens first, the collective second, and Gaia third, right? So we'll always follow that pattern. And then so any of the energies we get, we want you to also practice of reading the collective energy. Is what are the heavens offering us in energy codes right now? What are you getting? What is your consciousness getting in your alignment with your higher self, with your teams, and so on? Because again, every person is here depending on what DNA they've acted, what their gifts, skills, and talents are at. Again, if you're not practicing it every day, I would suggest that you do, because that's how you become better, and that's how you know your protocol. That's how you know you're standing within your borders and your boundaries of proper practice, following universal laws, making sure that you're heeding spirit. And if you're being tested by spirit, you're going to go through initiations. So all of these things, and unless you're doing ascension path work, you're not going to know. And that's okay too, but if you want to have an experience of being someone in a general experience of being a master, of those being paid for your gifts and skills and talents, somebody like myself, and being a spiritual guide and saying that you're a spiritual guide, you have to know the dodecahedron processes. You can't just say that you're understanding the dodecahedron within the ascension process, but you're actually doing it and working on it. You cannot play lip service when it comes to being a consciousness guide or a healer or a teacher or a leader. The consciousness guides that will be moved up, the consciousness ones that will be moved up, will be all of the separations of the ones that are now falling out. Those are the ones that have been doppelgangered, clones, copies, the ones that have been making fake AI pages and saying that they're conduits, but they're really not. They're usually the dark empaths that also do work with magic, but they work from a dark empathic side. So they take on they usually They usually take the energies of the wounding of the person and they manipulate and they get what they want within the wounding of the person. So they're very good at manipulating. They're very good at understanding and navigating negatively around the emotional field and pulling on those negative emotions. They know a lot about trauma bonding, and they go about their victims and they go about their life in using those mental manipulations and emotional manipulations and spiritual manipulations to get what they want. They're very good at manifesting because they use the dark energies to do it. And of course, most people are wounded. And so they make a very good life for themselves, but they do it based on all the negative experiences. And so now they're finding that all of those energies are coming back. So now they do have to actually sit in the things that they've manifested, because the omnipresent is saying, no, you haven't learned the lessons. You haven't chosen to move forward. Therefore, you have to actually sit in the energies that you've combusted, because everything is as you put out, it so returns. And so now those energies are now just returning on the spiral of now ascension. Everything is quantum. What you put out is what you get back. All that you are within, your conjuring, whatever it is that you're doing within as far as your inner practices, is going to start showing you in the outer. So again, the outer might be those people are seeing and feeling and sensing your energy, and they don't really want to be around you anymore because all you do is focus on competition and hurting somebody and taking other people out and planning and plotting and scheming and all of those things which are negative. If you're doing anything that is involved with other people's lives, you are going against the spiritual laws and rules. So just know that. And therefore, thus, then you will be hitting negative karma. Your teams will strip you of any gifts and skills and talents because it's not up to you to touch or interfere with anybody else's life. So again, if you are doing practitioner work, you should absolutely have a state of protocol. You should actually be aligned with 5D universal laws and protocol. And if you're not, then you're not following your higher self and you're not following spiritual guidance. And therefore, that's then you will heed, again, your negative karma, because you have to. If you're taking work, and if you're taking money or energies, any exchange of energy, know that we are going to be making laws for those that have been doing and practicing sacrificing, and those that have been practicing taking people out in death wishes and sabotaging wishes and poverty wishes. These will all be a part of our new law systems of criminal abuse. And they will be, we will be making new laws to be a part of the accomplice and part of premeditated murder as the perpetrator. And so we're going to be putting these into the laws, and it doesn't matter what part of the chanting plot that you took to take somebody's life, to mysteriously have somebody disappear, or to have somebody have a car crash, and all of these things that they think are, unsubstantiated in a criminal court case. They won't be, because when you're ascending and you have particular beings that are practicing in groups of 5 and 10 and 20, and they're gathering on certain nights of the week and certain full moons, and they do have patterns to their practice. They do have monies that are going in and out of their practice. They have ways that are being found, and those that have been involved in the certain cults and covens and the rings of torment and torture, they're essentially rings of assassins. They're rings of killers. They're rings of ripping apart people's innocent lives, and they have no right to. And so we are going to be putting laws to these experiences, and whether it can be proven or not, it doesn't matter. The psychotic base of these people that continue to focus themselves on other people's lives, that continue to focus themselves on destroying other people's lives just because they're not a part of it. There's a lot of research that can be done. There's a lot of healing that can be done. And there's a lot of 5D consciousness as far as understanding the psyche of such people when we get to actually go within and do study work on these beings that have been in cults and covens, and they have been survived certain MK Ultra and certain shadow government brainwashing and mind scraping. All of these have to be studied. All of these have to become part of our 5D experience and exploration, and our expression on how we're going to heal and resolve these. But in the meantime, we do have to absolutely pay attention to the ones like myself that have survived, that have come through cult and coven abuse and shadow government abuse, understanding what systematic abuse is, the covert abuse is, and how it plays on the multidimensional systems, how it is an obsessive experience when it's becoming seen in the environment and in the bedding that we are now ascending, and the omni essence, the omni light is showing that which is out of balance. The psyche wounds that have not been balanced, the 51% of those psyche energies, divine feminine, divine masculine, that have not been balanced, if they have been core childhood wounds and the wounds that they should have been working on and healing, but because their plots and plans have been focused on outer, their victims have become, more or less their obsessive, relentless TV. It's been that addiction, because again, part of the addictions was to go within and heal the psychosis. Addictions are usually seen in a lot of psychosis, because the addictions are just wanting to seek a pattern. The spirit in and of itself is trying to seek a pattern of its relief, of its relief. So it does tend to see addictions because that is its essence, to want to find answers, to want to find peace, to want to find, silence. In and of itself, it tries to heal itself as best it can. But because the person is not being a commander of itself, it's not showing its pathway to healing. It's not showing, as we talked about in my video two videos ago, where the children are not seeing role models to show them how. There's no role models in our collective to show the children how to move about successfully as a multidimensional being when you're harmonized with all that is spirit and everything is energy. And when you look at our collective in and of itself, it's hard to believe, and it's mind-boggling to think that we've come this far and we're already at year 2026. We're entering into 2026, and all of a sudden we're just saying energy is everything, and it's not taught, and we're not taught about who we are as energy. The light wisdom's teachings are not taught or seen in anywhere or anything. You have to go outside and seek it specifically. And then there's channels like myself, which are still shadow banned and not getting any growth whatsoever because they're not being shared or seen. But it's just mind-boggling to the fact that everything from here on out is consciousness. Everything that activates how our soul evolves is consciousness. Everything that we've ever been from is consciousness. The DNA from where we've come from, celestial and earthly, has been consciousness. These codons that get activated are God consciousness. It's activated by God consciousness. It's activated by light. We are in an essence moving in an environment, as within, so without, as above, so below, is all God consciousness. Everything is God conscious, yet it's taught nowhere. It's seen nowhere. You can't even go, if you walk by any store in any busy, most busiest place where there's so many people and so many stores and so much stuff and so many things. You walk by any store, you will never see anything on really consciousness, unless you're walking by a really big bookstore and they've put their new age book display on their window. Otherwise, you would never hear about these things. Church and state doesn't talk about it. They don't want you to talk about it. Even some of the old Egyptology books and the studies that you go in the Egyptology wants you to learn a certain Egyptology way. There's so much about Egyptology that's been hidden, that's been held back and kept from us. There's so much that we could be adding to who we have been through Egypt. Egypt is one of our main portals through which we've learned to be higher dimensional. But there's been so much of it that's been held back because the people that first originated Egyptology, they don't want their egos burst by some of the things that are coming forward that are now breaking some of their theories and theorems. But it's no more ego now, so anybody that's involved in Egyptology, they're kind of running the information, they're controlling the information because it's all ego-based. They don't want their theories to be disproved about how early we were really there and how early and what we were teaching and how we were teaching it. So a lot of these Egyptology beings that have clout on when and how information is released through Egypt, from Egypt, they're all, really withholding information that will not be withheld because it is sacred information and they don't have the rights over sacred information. They think because it's Egypt and they are from Egypt and they have Egyptology books that were a part of writing, but they're doing it from impure and they're not of goodwill. Therefore, thus then, there will be the breaking of Egypt as well. Not in so many ways of the pyramids, of course, of the sacred spaces, but of those, as I said, imprints. The collective imprints. As I said, again, I'm collectively reading into the energies about our sacred wisdoms and our sacred histories coming into a higher vibrational consciousness, because it cannot remain in 3D consciousness where it's held and run by egomaniacs and misogynists that don't want their theories disproved. And that goes in any area of study. That's why the entire energy and the entire study of psychiatry and psychology will be rewritten. It has to be. But the children are not seeing any role models in this. So I'm one of them. I'm one of the first role models of starseed energy, of starseed DNA, of starseed makeup. And I'm going to come forward and I'm going to speak about things that are not necessarily true, as I did yesterday in my video. And they're actually biases, and that's actually ignorant. That certain people of certain rating of who they are within society and certain official rankings and military rankings that have the power and the influence to create something that's better and bridge building and unifying and oneness, but they're absolutely going about it in the wrong way. They're still going about it in misogynistic, egotistical ways. They want to be, and they want to have the power over information. That is the core foundation of the North American governments. They want the power of information. And so that's why they find it very intriguing, starseeds now awakening. They want to control the channels. They want to control the panels. What's information is getting out and by whom and by what? How much of the collective is catching on? But they don't understand that light is multidimensional. It will bend. And it will bend through the channels that are shadow banned, and it will bend through those that say, no, we can't have it in. The light will get into everywhere and everything. It's working while you sleep. It's working through the DNA. It's working from the inside out and upside down. So these people, again, they don't have power and control. But that's what they want, because then they feel like their programs and their agendas are still up point and they're still in charge. You're not in charge. You never were. That's your ego. Go heal it. And there will be those of us that will come through and we will break, and we will, that's what we do as crystalline children. We will break what has been there because it's not working, it's unfair, it's unjust, and the information that should be out to the people is not getting out to the people. Therefore, there's going to be a lot of sick people going through psychosis. And who's going to heal these people? Well, get on the bandwagon, Big Pharma. Guess what you're going to start seeing? Guess what you're going to start seeing? Write it down. This is my prediction. You're going to start seeing Big Pharma come out with all these mental illness drugs now. Because they want to get ahead. They want to get ahead of the curve. Because they're going to start seeing all of these people that are not mentally balanced. They don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to work with it, because it's now we're entering into a new phase of dimension. And what is dimension? Information and vibration. And those people that are trying so hard to heal themselves in an old vibration, they're now trying to toggle and straddle various vibrational threads, because that's ascension. That's what you do. You have to be able to straddle and vibrate many dimensional threads. That's how you evolve. Sometimes you're going to be really high one day and on a higher thread. The next day you're going to be back. 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. 4 steps forward, 5 steps back. This is ascension, dear lighted ones. That's why you always go to the ones that have been doing it for a very long time. Because there is absolute truth and there is absolute working and inner process to the process of ascension. It's very sacred. Your body needs time to entrain. And therefore, that's then the leaders have been holding back the information that the people have actually needed for quite some time, since 1987. 1987, we should be fully talking about our celestial oneness. 1987, we should be fully talking about, yes, our celestials, our light ships, always have been landing here, and they've always been checking on us because they love us and care about us. They want us to evolve beyond barbarianism and controlling of information. Because if you control it, that means that you're in a lack mentality. That's what control and domination is. It's a fear-based mentality. It's fear-based lack mentality. And when you get in those mentalities, what does that do? It agitates and it incites aggression and war and violence and us and them and separation and discrimination. Those are quantum truths. Go work it out. And so now they're all getting very nervous because everything is just quantumly seen now. And you're not just having one light person talk about it, you're absolutely being seen it pulled out in experiences everywhere. And so that's just the quantumness proving itself to you. You're proving itself to you. No light workers are doing anything to you. We don't sit back and we don't magic. We don't do magic. We do healing. That's what we do. The ones that are aligned, the ones that God will lift, we heal. That's what we do. We are in our position because we are healers. And we understand the process of energy. And I can navigate and I can pierce into whatever idea, whatever concept it's in the collective, whether it be the divine feminine, where are they in the collective? Where are the children in the collective? What are we doing with the oceans in the collective? And I can read these energies. As the moment, this is what the energy is. So I'm now teaching you how to do it within yourself. Trust only you. Trust your guides. Work with your guides every day. And don't let anybody outside of you tell you, no, you're not right. No, you're this. No, you're not. The most part of the collective right now is not even awake. So how could anybody on the outside tell you what you know when you've been on the path for 20 or 30 years and you've been here 100 times, 1,000 times? Nobody on the outside has any right. They don't have any ounce of anything to tell you anything because they're not you. Your consciousness is completely different. If you work with light ships all the time, if you work with celestials all the time, if you're absolutely in 100% communication with your celestials all the time, your veiling and your movement through dimensions is absolutely seamless. Then somebody's sitting in a 3D world where they don't connect with anything, they don't think there is anything, and they're sitting in a little dark room and all they want to do is throw hate because they want to throw you off your blanket because they're bullies. They're just hate bullies and they're meant to be there because they're paid to be the catalyst to try and knock you off and make your life as hell as possible, and they're ones that are paid to sabotage you. They're part of the Little Minions global network of hate groups. And they're paid on behalf of the cults and covens and warped ass masons that go and make your life difficult as hell, and they try and get you. And once they break you, then they try and groom you for the illegal prostitution rings. These are the systems of the game. The human hunger game. How much can you be sabotaged? How much you can have obstacles placed in front of you? They're very dark agendas. And the dark-ass government knows about it. The shadow government knows what's going on and they know who they pay. And that's why you're going to see little things like the Diddy thing pop up every now and while, where Diddy had previous engagements and previous knowledge or inner workings with certain societies, the CIA and the FBI and all the alphabet numbered people. They all had interactions beforehand. It's not rocket science. So now we're coming forward with, okay, well, are we going to prosecute again? We actually see the disgusting things that are going on, the debauchery that's going on, the children that are being harmed in every way. You see the children that are brought into these rituals in every way. You see the illusion and you see the alluding to the children and the people that are harmed every day for these misguided, incorrect, wrong information about cults and societies that use life and abuse life for their profit and their gain. And they're absolutely 100% wrong and misguided about how they're abusing energy. It's a very low vibrational, dark version of a half-truth. And it was working for a little while when our reality was in dark, omnipresent energy. The substrates were very dark, and their little propagandas and their little corruptions couldn't be seen. And the hands sliding in and out of payments of people being paid and officials being paid and white-collar crime happening all over the place. But these white-collar people were made to look like special and officials, and they were made to look like righteous beings. And every church was meant to look like it was righteous. And every church is still kind of out there looking kind of righteous. But when you pull back the layers of the onion, what do you get? You get a whole lot of communities that have been doing a whole lot of really bad things because they haven't been connected with Source. They don't know who they are, and they haven't been practicing their light, and they haven't been connecting to who they are as light. There's been no self-connection with God and Source Creator and Spirit. These are the core woundings of humanity, and they need to be taught everywhere, every day, so that those that so desire to heal, those that so desire to transcend 3D matrix games of hunger hunting, the human, of ripping the human out and harvesting the human, of doing organ transplants and all of these things in the black web that are going further and further into the black web because we have just corrupted ourselves so much so. And you're exploited without even knowing it. You're sold to false cults and covens without even knowing it. You're into false marriages without even knowing it. And all of a sudden your spiritual life and your soul life and all that you are as a being of light that you're supposed to be free and sovereign is not at all. You're being sold to 3 and 4 or 5 times before you're even 17. How is that okay? So none of these people have a say over you. Just know that your universal right is always. You are a sovereign being born unto the Source Creator, the Mother, and the Father creation. Universe. You are a universal child, period, point blank. Nobody else owns you. So say that and affirm it daily. Say it and affirm it hourly. I'm a universal being. Nobody owns me, period. I belong with the heavens. I belong with the systems of light. This is my devotion. This is my service, period. I work with light. I honor light. Light is my alliance, period. And if you're on this channel for anything else, then you might want to get off because this is who we are. This is what we practice. I teach people how to heal from trauma, from misguidance, from wrong guidance, from wrong information, from corrupted church people, from corrupted gangs and cults and covens, and those people that have abused energy and abused magic. If you want to know about magic, go learn about it in a responsible way, but you don't abuse it and you don't interfere with other people's lives because you want to have a little notch in your dark cult belt to say to somebody that, oh, I sacrificed 3 people this week and here's their obituaries. And you think that's ranking. It's actually ignorance. And you come to my channel because I'm going to trigger you because you're living in a low consciousness and you will never ever evolve beyond Epstein Earth. And every day there's going to be sheaths of darkness and sheaths of ignorance moved out. Because these are the ones that choose and refuse to ascend, and they refuse to heal. If you're not going to heal your psyche, if you're not going to heal the psychosis that you sit within, if you're not going to heal your separations and discriminations, you will not move into unity. Duh. Kind of a misnomer, isn't it? So stay in separation all you want, stay in discrimination all you want. You're just going to be moved out to Epstein Earth. And then you can fight it with each other on everybody else that's with Epstein Earth. And you will be on a version of Earth that we will never see and we will never hear. You'll just slowly and slowly and slowly be moved out. And that's the magic of God. God has that will. And all the dark people that want to rape and take from people and want to stay in numbness and dumbness, and they want to stay within their debauchery, and they want to stay within their incest, and they want to stay within your, oh, I've done everything right, but as soon as I know God's going to bless you, I'm going to pretend and come and be your friend, and I'm going to be your long-lost relatives, that now that I see you're my long-lost relatives, and I'm sorry I called you nothing, and I'm sorry I tried to kill you 100,000 times, but now that I know that I'm your real mother, and we can do DNA tests if you want, I can send it to my little mad scientist in the underground, and you can send your DNA there, and we can see if you're going to be a part of a new cult, and maybe you want to come with us to go and kill people and take people out as we dance on the necromancy graves, and we're going to do all these kind of things because it's going to rank us in this kind of way. And now that we know that you're getting blessed by God no matter what, because we put you down so many times, we tried to kill you about 3,000 times, but you're not being killed. We don't know why. But can we be a part of your blessing? Can we take from you? Can we, huh? No, you can't. And I'm making fun and I'm making light of it. Because this is how it feels to be me. Because when I sit alone every day, and I've sat alone every day since the day I was born here, everybody else around me had their hands on my life, and it was a game to everybody. And it was a talent show to everybody to see how much everybody could abuse me and use me. How much they could take from me and rape from me. How much they could falsify my signatures and falsify forms and Photoshop forms and AI forms and AI bank websites and AI porn sites. How do you think I feel, dear lighted ones? You didn't think about that, did you? All you did was made fun of me. You made fun of me and you laughed and you heckled. As you made someone that looks like me be a porn star on my sacred royal life. And you all bet money back and forth, and you all bid money back and forth, and you all sold me back and forth, and you had no right to. You think it's a big fucking game. And your karma will be that big fucking game. So good luck with it. Because guess who's got the dice? And guess, well, who will never have the dice? Because I never had the dice in this game since the day I was born. And the shadow government absolutely knew it. They made sure that I never got the dice. They made sure that I never moved my token. It was a game of impossible odds, and there's no way I should have walked out. There's no way I should have won. There's no way I should have got up. The only reason why I got up was because of God and God only. God was going to prove to every person on this planet and every person for the rest of all times. And when it's time for me to tell you certain things, I will tell you certain things, but it's not time right now. I know my purpose and why I'm here. And it will ring true for generations, for eons to come. My legacy will never go away. My legacy will ring in the sands and the soils of this earth until the end of all times. I am here as a divine goddess, Messiah. I have transcended everything that has ever been. And I'm going to keep ascending. I will transcend and I will keep transcending. And I will bring the highest teachings that have ever been taught in light form here for all the children on earth that so desire, to never ever follow poor role models and adults that just refuse to heal. When homes are breaking and families are being ripped apart, isn't that your cue to get healed? When you are in a cult or a coven or a church and you hear a person say that is obsessive and relentless, that how much they want to take their ex-wife out by doing spells and by doing spell work, and everybody involved in that cult and covenant group, each and every one of you are accomplice to premeditated murder. Each and every one of you have been involved the moment you hear these discussions and the moment you take part in the spell work. Each and every one of you are guilty. And I will be a part of rewriting the laws on this planet, because it is no different than what happens in a cult or coven house or a warped ass Mason house when you're selling your children that are 6 and 5 and 4 and 13 because you want to get in your little back office and do your little bad things that you haven't healed from with little tiny boys and little tiny girls, and you don't want to be found out. So let's just sacrifice them before they start talking. And I'm hitting triggers on many of you. And I see many of you sitting in the offices of the churches. I see, I will always see, and you will never turn off my third eye. I will be all that I will be, and I'm reading the energy in the fields, and I get to read whatever energy God puts in front of me. If God puts a little spark right there, I'm going to read that spark right there, and I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to read it. Why? Because there's so many cowards within the collective right now that don't want to look at it, and that's my job. I'm going to pull it up, I'm going to look at it, I'm going to speak about it. Because it's time that we face what is there. It's time we face what is. And you're going to face it, and you're going to face it head on. Because if it's coming up as a trigger, you're ready to face it and you're ready to heal it. So own it. I'm asking all of those that are being triggered, heal your triggers. Be a role model that people can look up to. This is time for you, humanity, to wake up to a higher version of becoming. You want to become quantum and you want to read energy? Heal your triggers. That's your first quote of the day. If I am triggered quantumly within my body, vessel, or fields, I'm going to heal it. I'm going to face it. Why am I triggered? What are my beliefs? Who am I? Do the daily path work. Become connected with Source. We offer higher vibrational being, dear lighted ones, and there will always be those that will walk away that just don't want to do the work. They don't want to sit down and they don't want to do the work. Therefore, thus then, you will never ever complain. You will never ever be there saying, why can't I get and why am I not being blessed? And you can't ever say, why am I this and why am I that? Because you're not doing the work. You refuse to look at yourself. Go look at yourself. Get yourself a journal and look at yourself. Do the daily work. You will not move forward unless you do the daily work. Do the daily work. And this will replace education systems because you cannot gain in higher intelligence, in higher innovativeness, in higher intelligence without doing the inner work. You will never reach the pineal through the higher stuff that will take you all the way up to the 13th dimension. You can gain 13th dimensional information on anything in the multiverse through the work that I teach. It's not magic. I don't sit behind the thing and do spells for my clients. I don't do magic work on them. I work with light and I send light. If there's oppressions in the field, I send light to the oppressions. This is how I work as a conduit. I don't do magic. I value magic, I respect magic, and I honor magic. I call magic what God blesses me as I do my work. That's what I do. That's magic. Magic is the God experiencing, receiving. I am receiving God's magic. I am receiving the omnipresent magic because I'm connected with all that is omnipresent when I work with my light, when I have an alliance with my light, when I'm understanding dark and light, I'm understanding shadow. I don't need to do spell work. I never need to do spell work. I've never done spell work, ever. Never done spell work. I've never sat down and done spell work. I've never worked with a jar, never worked with a mirror. Don't need it. When you're harmonized with omnipresence, you're going to level up a little bit. You don't need the little toys and tools. You don't need it. They're permission slips to make you think, okay, well, I can understand energy in this way. Of course, if you're going to focus your consciousness on somebody and wish them hate and pain, of course, there's going to be a reaction. And at some point when you're not heeding spirit, spirit's going to say, okay, we've done enough. We've warned you and we've warned you and we warned you and we warned you and we warned you and we warned you 3,000 times later. But you're so hell-bent on your karmic cycle and you can't get out of it because it's now your obsession. And that's what becomes a pattern to an obsession. And patterns become obsessions when you don't heal your addictions. And what are addictions? They're the psyche woundings you haven't healed. The 51% of what we've been talking about and why you're not doing the work is going to be your obsession and your addiction. And I've been offering it to you point blank, and I'm offering you psychology classes. I'm offering you healing the psychic classes every single time I come on. But I get treated most often than not like I'm absolutely speaking of nothing and nothing else matters, except when you hear my predictions come true and it's right in your face. And it's like, oh, maybe what she's talking about is kind of real. It is kind of real. It's the omnipresent. It's God. Can you see God in new ways? Can you see yourself in new ways? Can you see your reality in new ways? Get out of your box. Everything is energy. How you treat energy with intention is what your karma is. Always. It will never change. Right use of free will and non-interference. If you're not interfering with anybody, you will never earn negative karma. So everybody right now is placed in judgment. The shadow government, you're placed in judgment. Those that refuse to heed the word of spirit and the word of God, you will be placed in judgment. I'm tired of saying the same thing. The Anubis scales are the Anubis scales. They never go anywhere. They will always rest on your soul. Only you can redeem what's on your soul. And doing a deathbed confession is not it, dear lighted ones. It's not. Because all you're doing is dumping the mess on somebody who was ever there at your here. How is that good karma for you? It's not good karma. You're not clearing your soul. All you're doing is dumping a mess on the first person that stands by you. How fair is that? That's not fair. Deathbed confessions are not fair. Deathbed confessions are just saying, here, I'm going to dump all this shit on you. Now can you go fix it? Now can you go tell whoever needs to be told? Can you go and tell the family members that, I was gay my whole life and here's my other family? How is that fixing your soul's records? It's not. You're just dumping crap on somebody else to go make it right for you. That's not clearing your karma. Everybody's got to stand up and everybody's got to face their deeds. If you've done wrong, if you've been nothing but deceitful, if you've done nothing but be manipulative, go fix it. And if you're not going to fix it, you're still going to sit with it because it sits with you until you clear it. And deathbed confessions don't count. It doesn't clear your karma. Your soul's transactions and your soul's records will still wait. You will still have the weight of that energy on your soul. Because dumping it on somebody else at your deathbed doesn't mean you've cleared it and you've given your scales lighter weight. You didn't give your scales lighter weight. You had 50 years to tell that person the truth about who their parents were, and you didn't. You let them go a whole lifetime without peace because you chose to be selfish, because you didn't know how to tell them. Well, how's that okay? You let this person live an entire life of non-peace, shadow government. You all let me live an entire lifetime of absolute sabotage and hexing. Spirit showed me out of my 54 years of being here, I don't even know when my birth date is. I'm saying 54 from the birth certificate I have, but it's not even true and right. Out of the 54 years I've been here, there's only been 3 years where I have not been and have not had any spell work on me at all. Only 3 years out of 54. Now you tell me the fairness in this. I've only had 3 years where I've not been impaled by spell work or hexes or curses. Only 3. Only 3. I've only had 3 years where I have not been touched mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, vibrationally. Only 3 years out of 54. And then from that for the 51 years, it has been nothing but attacks. It has been nothing but purposeful, malicious intention. It has been malicious selling. It has been malicious hexing. It has been malicious impalement. It has been malicious, to hopes that I would get on your side and you can harvest me for as long as you could harvest me while you sit in your fat chairs doing absolutely nothing but calling yourself a spiritual guide. You think you're connected with God. None of you are connected with God. If you harvest from another soul, if you sacrifice from another soul, if you do witchery and voodoo behind the scenes, if you do these little black things in your little black underground basement of your churches, you're not connected with God on any level. You're connected with your demons of selfishness and greed and gluttony. And I'm going to keep triggering you because you will not go any further on this planet. You will not go any further and things will begin to be blocked off. Because you're now having to level up to what the omnipresent cycling light is. And if you can't keep up with the base medium of our planet rotating in a time of ascension, you're going to be shifted off. That's just the basic quantum truths. This is ascension, dear people, and these are truths. Go ask any other channeler. Go start looking your stuff up. Because cults and covens living in the dark, you're not going to move forward. If you're interfering on people's lives, in the mafia groups and all of these places, I'm asking you to alter course now and start getting aligned with your godliness. There's many things that you can do coming out of the underground and coming out of corruption. There's many things that you can do. You can be a part of the Archangel Michael League of Angels, and assisting that which is corruption on the street. So seek that through Archangel Michael. There's corrupt policing, there's corrupt investigators, there's corrupt people in all aspects of government. If you're not going to heed and alter course, you will be in the favor of your own karma, and those scales will not change until you redeem yourself. Make right and bring truth. Go to the authorities, bring your truthful presence to the authorities and state your story, because anybody that says above you that they're going to look after you, they won't. We've already proven that many times. Nobody's going to have your back. They didn't ever will, and they never have. As somebody as high ranking as me, the only way that I will ever receive anything on this planet is because the hand of God is pulling on everybody. Everybody. There hasn't been one human that's come forward and says, oh, I just can't wait to do right. I mean, she's been going through so much, except for the 2 people that have donated to me, and they will be forever protected by the archangels. Nobody will touch these people, and they will be blessed tenfold. From here on out, it's their cherry and it's their dessert and whatever they else want to eat. This is their dessert time, and they will never come out of dessert time. From now on until the rest of their life here, they will be in dessert time. And they will have, yes, their daily little challenges here and there, but they're in their dessert time. So help me God. That's my ranking. And there was how many thousands and thousands of people given their chances, and they were all tested before God and before me. And when I asked for simple little things, and I asked for kindly little things, and I asked for basic human things, even though I had done equal to you, if not more, in previous life cycles. The making of care packages, the listening to your psychosis problems, going through your master's program, all of these things that I've done for each and every one of you. And nobody sat there in any of it for me. And I sleep outside in the cold because all of you are still refusing to give back the money that's mine. Stand up and be true people, dear lighted ones. Are you being brave? Or are you being cowards? Who are you? Are you going to lessen the load on your own soul? What are you? Who are you? Who are you aligned with? Who do you bow to? Who do you pray to? It should firstly be you, because if you respected yourself, ain't nobody going to throw you off nothing. No, because I know what I know. I am the dodecahedron times 10. And that's hard for you to hear. Perhaps you go heal. This is why I'm here, because there's a lot within our collective, and there's a lot within the lineages and church and state that need to be busted and broken down. The misogyny is disgusting. The church and state laws where we think everybody has to live within their divine masculine energies at all times to ever win or get ahead is BS. Divine feminine will rise, and we will be the healers of this planet, and we will heal anything and all things. And we will do it without big pharma. and there will be no wars, and there will be no missiles in our oceans that bless us with life and the consciousness of God and Christ consciousness every day. And those that choose to continue with satanic rituals where you're taking life and wanting power over others, if you choose not to alter course, and if you choose for this to be the rest of your life forever and ever, and you choose not to alter your small, low vibrational, dark ass beliefs, if that is your choice, thank you. But stop coming on my channel. Stop being paid for all your hate that you're spewing out by the elites that are paying you. And if you choose not to bring any of this forward through the authorities and what you've been practicing in, and you choose not to alter course in all the lives that you have affected, that you had no right to affect, and if you choose to still not alter course and these are your practices, perhaps you can think about bringing higher vibrational practices in, because the light will continue. You will continue to get jostled about because your darkness will not match the light, and it will be more and more and more and more karma. And it's going to come back faster and faster and faster and faster. That's what light does. So we're just showing you on the spiral, the Fibonacci sequence. As you put out, it's bouncing back. As you put out, it's bouncing back. That's what light does. We're teaching you the basics. So we're saying if you choose not to alter course, that's fine. You'll be taken care of with and for and by God. Because there is a God, I'm here. Hello, how are you? These are the basics of quantum science. God is life and life is God, all things. We get to change science as we raise our consciousness because we respect and honor all that is life. We don't want power over it. We don't want to dominate it. We don't want to rip every aspect of life out of our planet and then say, oh boy, we're the richest and we're the best. We're going to buy up all the land. We're going to buy up all the oil. We're going to buy up all the diamond mines. And then we're going to treat everybody like crap. And then we're going to harvest off everybody because we think, oh wow, well now that we're all elites, we're finding that these little star seeds actually have lots of ideas and they're so creative. I don't have any ideas. I just raped the earth and I raped everybody in it. But I don't have any soul within me whatsoever. So I'm going to start harvesting the children. I've harvested the earth. I've harvested the diamond mines. I've harvested the harvesting fields. I've harvested the mountains. I've harvested the oceans. What can I harvest next? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. What can I harvest next? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh, little lights, little star seeds. Let's harvest them next. They have good organs and we can get eternal life from them. Oh, how about we have a cloning program to make sure that anybody asks questions, there's their little clone. And then we'll mind scrape them. We'll take all their brains and their personality out of them. And then we'll put little pockets of double doppelgangers in place of them. Nobody asks us any questions. And we'll just be these evil little geniuses running the planet. These things are actually going on. It's the human Hunger Games. I survived. You will never doppelganger me. I am so deep and wide, you will never ever copy even an ounce or an essence of me in any way on any day. When you are fully harmonized, ain't nothing gonna touch you and there's nothing fake about it. Superficiality bores me. Superficial conversations bore me. You send your little minions at me, it bores me. I can see it coming before it comes and I'll tell you in my sentences, I'll tell you in my YouTube platform channel. I'm shadow banned, what the fuck do I care? You send anybody at me, it's gonna bore me. You're not gonna touch me, I wouldn't open my legs for you in any day on any way. It bores me. Play games with me, it bores me. Are you gonna get healed now? That's why I'm here. I'm not here to placate your debaucherous games, and I will send you away before you even get to me, because I have 10 miles deep of legions and angels and ancestors and people that have wronged me that are now working for me. And they're working for me on all sides, in all realms, in all dimensions, make no mistake about it. I am stacked. Any voodoo, any hoodoo, any Akashic tampering, anything, of anyhow, of anywhere, you will be touched by the ancestors. They're deep. And they are wide, and they come from all realms. And then you'll be touched by the celestials, and then you'll be touched by the hand of Mother, Father, God that are directing each and every one of them. And then you will see my scales in front of you, and they will remind you, who are you? Who are you in the scale of all creation? Who have you damaged and why? Go heal yourself, dear lighted ones. This ride is about unity and love. The acceptance of all that is outside of us is one. We are on the oneness ride. It's always been this way. You have been in illusions. You have been the illusions of the church and state. Illusions, 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 illusions. Wake up. You are divine beings of multidimensional potential. If you so choose, there are universal laws to ensure that we all abide by such laws, and no one is hurt. Because as you awaken your gifts and skills and talents, you will become very powerful. And if you choose to do so with malevolence and malignancy and ill toward, you will be held back and you will not continue with the rest of us. You just won't. You will be held back. And you're not going to pull those people back that have moved forward from you because you were told 18 million times, Calgary, everybody is forgiven. I love all of you for teaching me the lessons that you have taught me on how to survive abuse, how to survive lies and theft and fraud and doppelganger bullshit, copyright infringement and all the things that you've done to me that you will still to this day probably deny. I don't care. I don't care on any level. All of you are forgiven. The fake family, the fake this, the fake that, my ex, the fake cults and covens that practice themselves as church and businesses, and the people that you've paid inside and out of the fake businesses and the fake officials and the fake policing. Because all of you are fake. You're not standing in any truth at all. I'm calling you on it. From 45 people to 135 were invested in ensuring that I never get up again. So now it's your time to face your judgment and your scales. Each and every one of you are out of balance. You need psychological assessment, especially my ex. You need assessment for early onset Alzheimer's and dementia because you've done so much black magic. Your brains are starting to become warped. You have so many addictions and you have so many obsessiveness. That should be your first indication. Go get checked. Because these addictions and these choices will lead you to bad physical choices. In ways and such, then, you're putting your physical body and your life force in abusive situations. Therefore, thus then, perhaps many of you are walking down with infections that are passable to anybody. And if you're not in the right frame of mind and you're not telling those of which you're passing it which, how is that going to be okay? It's called intent to infect. And it is passable in a court of law. It is chargeable for premeditated infection and death and cause of illness. And of course you would all know this because many of you work with eluding and falsifying insurance claims. So many of you know all these things. You filled out so many insurance forms. There's going to be a lot of investigations and a lot of research done on all the things that have been done in the past that everybody wants to come forward now and say, oh, can we make it right? Because you know God's going to bless me no matter what, because you haven't. You haven't done right. You haven't done right on any level. I didn't have an ounce of peace in my 54 years of being here. Nobody's brought me 1 ounce of truth. And then so you think your people are going to give it to me at their deathbed. It's time for me to move on. It's time for me to go here, and God's pushing people out and because they're just not the vibration to stay on this path of ascension. So everybody's going to be moved and shifted out. It's all about vibration from here on out, people. If you cannot be the medium vibration of the core's Earth's vibration of their new Earth star. New Earth star is the new Earth vibration. Other world orders or whatever these other billionaire orders want to think that they're making these world orders of, they're not. They're not a world order. They're in their own delusional minds. There is New Earth Star, and then there's everything else. The New Earth Star is the highest creative, heavenly, light Earth program that moves forward. And yes, there are infinite Earths on those highest realms. It's the plan of the Father. There are many infinite realms that are also creative and light-based because you're choosing to seek light. Any Earth that is choosing to seek light will be a part of the higher realms. And then everything else. Because you're refusing to alter course and you're refusing to heal. If you cannot bring your multidimensional bodies into unity and oneness, into unity consciousness of your Merkaba, if you cannot do this, then you will not move forward. It is that simple. Your body would go into psychosis, your mind would go into psychosis, your mental abilities would go into psychosis. You would not know who you are. You just won't. You'll go into mental breakdown. You have to be able to see multi-dimensions. That's what's called being multidimensional. I can see many multi-dimensions all at once. I know how to use that within my consciousness. I've been practiced. I've been trained. In these classes that I offer you daily, I don't ask for any charges. I ask for donations. And still only 2 people donate to me. I'm giving you the highest teachings on this planet. So, therefore, thus then, anybody that would like to bring me donations because I do have to fix a mess that occults and covens have been impaling on me for the very longest time. And I deserve what's readily mine, what's earned of mine, and what's inheritedly mine. I deserve what's legally mine. And I'm asking for it. I want what is mine. Because I'm tired of sleeping on the street. I bring forward humanity's top teachings. I am a Messiah from the royal heavens. And this is how humanity has treated me. And you've all got, anybody right now, what's the number, Spirit? 17. 17 groups and cults and covens and people of government and people of this and that. 17 people of individual groups are still wondering how they're going to plot, plan, and scheme and get me on their side. 17. Nobody's brought me any ounce of peace. I've asked for 4 things. 4 things, very simple, and it's about basic fairness and justice. Justice of the liberations and the constitutional rights that you all say you believe in. And yet who do you hire? Who's in your offices? Who's putting missiles in the oceans? How many of you speak up every day? How many of you speak up about your spirit every day and your soul every day? My spirit says this, my spirit sees that. I know this is going on. I hear that's going on, and you don't do anything about it. You see people getting raped, beaten, and charged. You see people getting falsely charged and falsely accused. How is a healer ever going to be falsely accused of somebody that's done sociopathic crimes? And I live in devotion of spirit. I live in hermit mode every day in study halls. How's that possible? But you all mixed enough paperwork to make it even plausible. So you got private investigators following me. How's that even plausible? A healer that moves little insects off to the grass. That's about as much as I've touched on this planet. Because what you don't understand, you just want to throw in a cage. Shouldn't that be about all the pedophiles that are on the street? Shouldn't we be working about how to heal these pedophiles before they danger any more children? Again, you're all working for somebody and you're all getting paid. Because there's very few of you on the street that are actual investigators, that are actual police, that are actual military men and women that are actually standing in the justice of who they are, of being divine beings. Very few of you. Most of you have been bought and sold to programs that don't have anything to do with the higher heavens, that don't have anything to do with the sacred Trinity. The heavens, your collective, and Gaia. You're going along with agendas of putting missiles in the ocean. You're going along with agendas of putting chemtrails in the air. You're going along with ripping down forests. So what are you buying into? Are you speaking for your spirit, yes or no? Say it out loud, yourselves are listening. I speak on behalf of the benevolence of who I am as the divine creatorhood. I am a creator, Holy Mother and Father, and I'm at your very benevolent service. You are one of our most devoted servants, and you are one of our most devoted beings of holy light. And we've called upon you in your service. We've called upon you to go in anywhere, in any way in which we can, that you can improve your skills as being a divine being of holy light, through which you can understand all things dark and light, and forgive it nonetheless, and press your light into everywhere that there is darkness, for we understand that you will and you are. For wherever you go, there is light. For wherever you go, there is peace. For wherever you go, there is calm, and things make sense. You're making complicated things in the collective make sense. Give me any complex issue and I will make it make sense in a very short sentence. Who are you? That's what the narcissists want you to do. And the little manipulative warlocks and witches, they run you around in circles of confusion and they get nowhere. So until you just give up because what the fuck? We've gone around 15 hours arguing in a circle and nobody's right. And meanwhile, they're tunneling a hole through your basement, getting to your safe of your gold. And they've raped 3 of your children on the way by. I know narcissism, people. It's going to be something we're going to heal on this planet because it takes accountability. And the sense of self that's been raped from you from dogmatic and church systems and state systems that haven't worked for you because they don't know anything about source. They don't know anything about the love of life. They know something about the love of money, and getting more money, and the power of money, and the greed of money, and the power over others of money and information. Because if they have information, they have more money. And the more money they have, they can buy more information. Information doesn't make you wise, dear lighted ones. It doesn't at all. Information is just information. A tree is just a tree if it stands there with all other trees. Information is just information. AI is just a piece of information. It's a tiny little tool. And it will work in good or bad depending on its intentions. And if you're not connected with the sacred Trinity, it will always give you a lose. Because that's the way of quantum evolution. The core of quantum evolution, dear lighted ones, is what we talk about every day, the ascension path work, if you so desire. And you're going to have your path of falling down and getting back up and falling down and getting back up because you must learn how to be a master. You must learn that the straight and narrow path is of only your path, and only you had to carve it with God, and only God knows what you put in. Only God knows to the very core of what you have put into this life, and only God will raise you. And God will say to you in the nights where you're sitting cold and you are sitting hungry and you are sitting homeless and nobody gave a crap because all they're doing is coming up with plots and plans and schemes to rape you and take from you the next time you're blessed. And they've got different bots on your email. They've got different bots here and there because they want to take from you as soon as you get something. These are these low vibrational, sociopathic, demonic people in the cults and covens that are paid to do so by the shadow government and the corrupt elites that still want to keep harvesting you because they don't got nothing inside of them. And it doesn't matter how many times we say this is how you can do it. They just don't want to do it. It's easier for them to harvest and pay people to come and get you and sabotage you. Because if they can take your soul, if they can take your gifts and skills, if they can buy you in the underground, well, at least they've got some sort of hold on you. But you don't. It's an illusion, dear lighted ones. Those are your stories. It's your illusion. I'm not any part of your story. You haven't taken a cork of my light. Surprise. You haven't taken a cork of my light. Dear lighted ones, we've taught you the ways of the quantumness and correctness. These are the ascension truths. This is how you activate your light body, is by being light. You're not going to be light by sacrificing others. You're not going to be light by interfering with others. You're not going to be light by harvesting and siphoning every ounce of their blood, or playing necromancy, or getting spirits and souls to sing with you, or getting the chanting of the rituals of jars and little blood work and little jar work and mirror work and voodoo dolls. You will never, ever be light. You just won't. You just won't. To be light, what does it mean? What does it mean to be light? You must understand infinity. Everything that you put out is coming back, and if you do not break these negative karmic cycles, you will always stay here. You must break it by realigning in neutrality. And what is realigning in neutrality? Realigning in neutrality is, at some point you must say, I choose within the purity of my heart, dear Mother and Father, to change. I wish to change. I wish to seek light in all that I do. I don't want any more of these karmic cycles. I am so tired of these karmic cycles. I wish to release myself from these karmic cycles. How may you assist me, and how may I get on board, and how may I do the work? Because I care about myself enough. I love myself enough. I love my body enough not to take another drink. I love my body enough not to make another cut. I love my body enough not to give myself to people that don't give a shit. I love myself enough to close the door and have it never be opened, and throw away the key and give it to Archangel Michael so it's never been seen from again, and actually burn it in another pile of keys that don't work. Because no means no. Everybody from Calgary, no means no. You are all forgiven. My ex, no means no. Divorce means divorce. It means stay away from me. You all know what you have stolen. You all know what you have done. Everybody in Calgary that was involved in ensuring that the criminal people and the corrupt people got away with what they got away with. How many people have been harmed and taken out in the meantime? How many people have been taken out in the meantime? All I asked for was just cause and just rights. Treat me fairly, and I haven't been. Not one day. Everything I speak of is absolute truth. These people have been stealing from me for a very, very, very long time. My videos are pilfered every single time I upload, and I prove it to you. The dates of my videos are messed with, and I prove it to you. YouTube has not done one thing right for me on my platforms ever. They have done it, and I've proven it to you. I haven't grown in 8 years since I sought my divorce. There are veils and there are veils put on my YouTube account. Why? When will these veils be released? When will I be treated like every other YouTuber? When will I be able to start to monetize my gifts and my skills that are the highest on this planet? No other feminine has got to where I got to. I am a feminine first on this planet. And if you want to take it up with God in your own unique way and ask questions about that, go take it up with God. But I get to state who I am and be proud of it, because nobody else has survived. You will never play Hunger Games with me ever again. The people that you send me, I will know about it before you even send them, so don't. If you are somebody that would like to collaborate, be courageous and book a session and appointment and speak to me like I'm a regular, respectful human being. Book a session and talk with me. Stop sending people. Stop studying me. Stop spying on me. Stop hacking me. They're illegal, 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 illegal. I've signed no permission of such. I've signed nothing but my divorce in 8 years. I would never need a power of attorney. I'm smarter than all of you, and I'm only going to gain in my consciousness and my awareness. I'm going to move right up through the 13th dimension, and you will only know of me by the books and legacies that are left behind me. I do not sleep around. I've been celibate for over 14 years. My story is the same, dear lighted ones. My speech is truth. It never wavers. I know who I am. I am the straight and narrow. This is who I am. I am the law and the order. This is why God places me before the most corrupt. That's my vibration. Why do you think God uses me as bait for all the most corrupt? Because it needs to be called out. God's had enough. We have all had enough. These agendas of ascension will move on, with or without you. It is just that. You're not untouchable, you're not unstoppable. Those of you that think you can harvest everything under the sun and think that you're free and clear and you're going to move on the ascension path like everybody else, you ain't. You got to earn it just like everybody else. Get back in line. And you can't pay someone to get your ascension bar or get your little ascension badge. No, you got to earn it. You got to have your consciousness. Where's your dodecahedron? Where are you at? What are you working on? Because somebody that is in their truth, you stand with me on stage, I'll ask you 3 or 4 questions, and you'll either say yes or no. You won't move on. You just won't move on. You want to prove to everybody, you want your 5 minutes of fame, let's get up on stage. Let's get up on stage. Everybody that thinks and wants to prove me wrong, everybody that wants to prove me wrong, you and I can get up on stage and you will prove me wrong. Let's do it. You get me up on stage and we'll prove to the dodecahedron who you are and who I am. Is that what you want? I'd rather not embarrass you. Those are big triggers right there, aren't you? There's a whole bunch of you being triggered right now. Because where do you live? You live in superficiality. And you know what it means to get up on stage, doesn't it? You're going to be challenged. And you don't like to be challenged. Why? Because you're living in ego. And you're living in false superficiality. I've just challenged you to break through something that you want to break through right now. If you want to be healed, face that shadow and face that trigger. How would it feel, dear lighted ones? We're going to take you a little bit farther. Place your hands on your hearts, dear lighted ones, if you care about who you are. Now, if you're up on stage and you're doing something that you never thought you would do because there's fears based on it, and you want to speak from the heart of God, because you are, each and every one of you are godly, has nothing to do with your ego. Ask your ego to sit down and ask your ego to take a rest. It's time for spirit now. I'm calling forward my higher self. I'm calling forward all of my light. I recall my light. I recall all that I am a spirit. I recall all that I am a spirit. I recall all that I am a spirit. My body is spirit, my body is light, my body is spirit, my body is light. Call all of your light, call all of your frequency, call all of your resonance, call it in, call it in, call it in, call it in. It's just you and God, just you and God, just you and your higher self. Open up your pillar of light. Call in the light, call in the light, call in the light. And ground, 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 ground. Your chakras are open and spiraling. You have access to all the wisdoms in your chakras. You have access to your fields. Your fields are being bathed and cleansed. All cords are cut. You have nothing in and around you. It is just you and God. It's you and God in the environment from above and below and within and without. It's all that is. All that is God. All that is God. All is God. It's just you and God, just you and God, just you and God and your higher self. And everything that's facing you is what you need to face. It's just you. It's all a hologram of you. This is what reality is. It's a hologram of you. What is your biggest fear? Place it on stage next to you. You are on the I Got Talent stage. You will only know your true talent when you face your fears. Because you don't have to be the best to express a talent. You don't have to have an award to express your talent. You don't have to have a trophy, and you don't have to be on the top 10. And you don't have to sign with a music company or a music label that will change who you are and sell your soul so that you can get on the Billboard charts. Because how many of those songs that are actually on the Billboard that were actually paid to be on the Billboard? While the people that actually crafted songs are nowhere to be heard because the songs are being stolen. So then you tell me, how really true and fair is that person on the stage? It's all bought and paid for. Some of it. And some are real true crafters. Those are the ones that stay in it for the long game. And they don't care about the badges and they don't care about the awards. And then there's people that get awards where they haven't even sung a song in their life. But it's been bought and paid for by people in the background and people in their affiliates. It's their circle. They're a commodity. And it's being seen everywhere. And that's why the arts and entertainment industry is going to change. It's going to be a field. It'll be a field of light. And those sparks of light that choose to stand on the stage because they're what? We want you to get there yourself, dear lighted ones. We said it yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. We've said it every day since the beginning of our radio shows. Why are you standing on stage, dear lighted ones, and you want to face one of your fears? The whole universe is watching you. The light ships, the light stars, your star beings from every ancestor lineage, from every ancient, from every future. The billions and trillions and bajillions, if there's a bigger number than infinite. They're watching you right now. Why are you on stage? Because I simply must share who I am. I simply must express. I have a song within me. I have a poem within me. I have a story within me. I know that I'm here for a reason, and just because I'm here is enough. I know that just standing on my own 2 feet is enough. I know that just being me is enough. And I'm going to keep standing up being me no matter if I have a bed to fall on or not. And it's just enough. I'm not going to take anything from everybody because I know that just me is enough. I don't have to have money to be something. I don't have to have a badge to say that I'm something. I don't have to have numbers on my name on my wall. I don't have to have numbers in my fancy office. I don't need any of that. I'm just enough. And I will stand with my story and I will change the multitudes. Because all I want to do is share who I am. And isn't that enough? Because you're going to be the one that people will fall to and they will sit at your feet. Because you have wisdoms nobody else can come for. They can't shake you off that wisdom. And it doesn't matter how much information is out there in the information world. They're going to sit at the feet of the one that is wisdom. Because they've been that dodecahedron 10 times over. And they've done it all by themselves. Ain't nobody lifted them or paid them out of nothing. Nobody bailed them out of anything. It was them and God only. And you tell me who are the ones with the information, and that's money. I'm telling you right now, dear lighted ones, if anybody is paying for information, they're going to come against their biggest bet of karma. And that's why God and my ancestors are very clear about who gets through the gates and who gets to collaborate with me. Because anybody that thinks they're going to collaborate with me because I'm going to add value to your roster, and I'm going to be your bout of information. I'm going to stand on stage with you and give you the information to your next gold mine. And I'm going to take out and you're going to weaponize me at some point. You're going to gain and earn my trust, and then you're going to weaponize me so I can do your dirty deeds for you in the underground. And I'm going to be the best thing of the underground's ever seen. Haven't I already? How much money have you gotten on my head so far? Haven't I already? I've already been that dodecahedron. Been there, done that, bored. Why are you on stage, dear lighted ones? Who are you? And if you do not know who you are, you won't stand on that stage. Because from here on out, those that stand on that stage know who they are. Whether they're kind people that bake muffins for the homeless, or whether they're kind people that bake muffins for the hungry, or whether they are just kind people that give you a smile and say, it's nice to know you. I'm a part of Earth. How are you? I pray for the oceans at night. How are you? I don't have to be like anybody else. All I care about is just being me, and they will be up on stage. I want to seek God in new ways, and I want to seek unity and oneness in new ways. I want to get rid of these old boxes, and they will be up on stage. I want to help heal the trees and the forests and the oceans and the air that we breathe. They will be up on stage. The ones that speak truth over truth, that, my friends, is information. So be very discerning about what you call information and what you're paying for, because you're all deluded. And that's why your leaders are paying so much for information, because they think that's the way of life. That's why the money's all going into little capsules called information and bit this and bit that and bit this and bit that. It's just a way for them to gain more control over your information. Might have a dollar sign behind it or some other symbol. Isn't it just a way to package you? Isn't it a way to package you? You've got packages and you've got symbols for your medicine. You've got symbols for this and symbols for that. What is your symbol for love? None of you have talked about that. That's why you're not on stage. Who are you, dear lighted ones? There's lots of great work for you to do within yourself. Why don't you start? Why don't you go there? Isn't that what being on stage is all about? Because when you get off stage, it's not about a trophy. It's not about the numbers of people in your stadium. It's not about the people that are buying your records, that some of those songs have been stolen from other people. And you've just been okay about letting it go. Well, the people that you've stolen it from are sitting hungry and homeless on the street. Whether you've harvested their energy, whether you've taken their information, whether you've taken their predictions, whether you've taken their energies, it doesn't matter what and how you got that harvesting. You know that it's not yours. So while you're sitting in your fancy mansions and while you're telling people what to get you for food and while you're setting up your Uber thing, what are the people doing that you've taken from and stolen from and harvested from and raped from and siphoned from? You're in court trying to still battle whether you're right or wrong. That still doesn't lessen anything on your soul, and you're still going to have to go through those gates, and you're still going to have to look Anubis and me in the face. And you're going to have to say, what do my scales say? Who art thou? And your scales will be exactly to what you have redeemed. How much do you care about your soul's progression? This is the progression of your soul. Who are you? There is higher order. Because the courts on 3D have not been doing justice. They've been turning a blind eye to everybody that they have been supposedly on behalf of. They've been letting criminals walk. They've been letting pedophiles walk just so they can perpetuate crime and elicit and groom children for prostitution. And then you tell me, why are there so many people after my head? When those two men stood in the room and they said, I want her gone, she's bad for business. Why do you think they said that? What's the business I'm so bad for? You force your way into my lane, dear lighted ones, and you force your way with my spell work, and you force your way of telling me that I'm right and I'm wrong and I'm all these things that are just horrible and sick. Meanwhile, you're doing hate and rituals, and you're dancing on graves to make me dead. And you got voodoo dolls and practitioners paid all over the world, and each and every one of you will come to your senses because God will make sure that every day of judgment will hit each and every one of you, and it will hit equally to every single thing that you've done to me. I am of heavenly royal energy and essence that have been brought here for the evolution of humanity, for all that is. All that is, it's beyond your little cult, it's beyond your little package in your corner, it's beyond your little thing about what you think I can do for you. Well, did you think about what you can do for me? No, none of you did, because all of you just think about buying. Did you think that I might not ever want to work with you? Did you think that? Did you think that even though you put my name on a piece of paper, it doesn't mean anything? I don't want any part of that. I don't want any part of situationships. I don't want any part of somebody liking me that they're married and they're this and they're that because you're already cheating on your wife. I wouldn't be a part of that. It's vile. You don't know who you are. Go get yourself healed. Sort yourself out. I'm not getting involved in your mess. That's who I am, dear lighted ones. You want to put me on stage, you put me on stage. I don't have to come forward touting who I am every day. I don't have to. God knows exactly my depth. Why I'm here facing you. I'm here to trigger you to heal. So if you want to force your way into my field, be very, 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 very clear about what you will entangle with. Because I am an energy that will not let go. I am the sun. And once the sun has been touched, there is a forever burn. And unless you're going to heal it and face it, it ain't going to go away. And the sun's just going to get brighter and it's just going to get hotter. And the sun's going to give light to everything that was in the dark because you forced your way into my lane. And be very clear about why. There's where you should start healing. Now, will you leave me alone and let me get on with my work? Because the more you push me and the more you poke at me and the more you think that I'm one of your little rodents in your cage that you can diagnose back and forth and sell back and forth and do things back and forth with and set people up to come and see me just because they're little fake little excuses on why they just showed up at my table. Do you think that I'm that stupid? I can read your soul before you get to me. Did you not think that I knew what they were going to do in the 50s when they used my DNA as the little Arcturian body sitting on that little sterile table that nobody gave a crap about? There wasn't a blanket to be seen. All they cared about was my DNA. That's how crass the governments are. They don't give a crap. All they care about are their shadow agendas. Military men and women, government men and women. If this is how you operate, you are not connected with source or spirit at all. And you won't move forward. And you will be shifted out with Epstein Earth, just like the rest of all of you uncaring, disconnected peoples. Will you connect and will you be of love and light and oneness and building bridges? Or will you continue missiles in the oceans? Because you're being watched. You are being watched for the safety of the planet. And you can go into your little conferences and make it sound like on the brink of this and on the brink of that, and you can try and incite fear. But love and honor and wisdom, true and true intelligence will trump all of it. Because it's just propaganda of small-mindedness. And that's what you know that you speak. Propaganda. Because it's not thoroughly researched, it's not thoroughly anything. It's coming from 3D minds, from 3D states, and 3D volumes of research, and 3D people that can't see through the microscope, and 3D this and 3D that. It doesn't include anybody of higher intelligence. Therefore, that's where your research will sit. As I said, science will change as your consciousness does. Your consciousness is stuck in 3D. What do you think your answer is going to be when you ask 3D people? When you ask 3D consciousness, the same thing. They're all running in your fear programs. What do you think they're going to say? They're going to say what you're going to force them to say because you got a little policeman standing behind you with their handcuffs out. Oh boy, how fair are you? How fair is this being a free will state where freedom of speech is? No, we will evolve. We're higher vibrational beings. We're going to learn about light. We're going to love everybody, and no matter what, I love you. You're all forgiven. Everybody's forgiven. Everything that everybody's done to me is forgiven. I will get my blessings no matter what because I am that I am. I am that I am. I have my rights to be exactly who I am, and I'm going to lift people and I'm going to heal people just by my speech. I am liberating each and every one of you to put down what you think is holding you back. Stand on that stage and have the light shine upon you, the mother and the father. Will you be willing to seek the light in your day, yes or no? You have just heard a resounding yes, because you're tired of being in boxes. Will you be intelligent of learning from your lessons from the past? That's true intelligence, dear lighted ones. That is where intelligence begins. It doesn't begin by stouting non-conformed, unbiased experiences in a courtroom or in a conference room where you sound all professional and you think that you're the leaders. You're not, because you haven't taken everybody else's opinions or experiences or threatened them by handcuffs just because they say something that doesn't align with you. How freedom of speech is that? No, the people will be liberated, dear lighted ones, because we have stories, and our stories stand. I survived what nobody should. And nothing has been made right, except by the hand of God. And you can choose upon yourselves and go within your quiet time and discern whatever it is you like. I don't speak religion. I speak liberations of all life, because all life has its right to be exactly all life is. It's God. God bless the insects. God bless the animals. God bless the wolves and the foxes in the forests. That's God, and why I can read anything, because I respect and honor all life. I read it all. That's my honor, and I bow to it. What do you think the dodecahedron is? Every little facet of that dodecahedron is the respect of all life. And even the ones that play the most ignorant upon you, I love you, you're my brothers and sisters, you've taught me so much. It doesn't mean you can keep coming back. The cycles are closed. Thank you. The cycles of the past are closed. You are all forgiven. If you think you're my mother from a long lost land, if you think you're my brother from a long lost land, if you think they're my ex from a long lost land, it's closed, it's closed, it's closed, it's closed. I wish no longer relationships with you. I've grown beyond you. I don't want a part of your petty, little, messy, disruptive, trauma-based, trauma-bonded life. Go get healed. I wish not to be around you. And if you keep pressing me, I will get protection orders on all of you. Please leave me alone. You've done nothing but torment me. When is enough enough for you people? Not until you rape me from the other next million that might come in forever when? Pocket watching on everything. I haven't even received anything yet. I'm sitting homeless. And now you're trying to see how you're going to get me next? What idea does she have next? What book can we steal next? What content can we take next? No, because I'm going to be given to, and you're going to be moved off somewhere so that you can't touch me. Because at some point, I deserve to breathe and feel a little bit of peace. Out of 54 years, I've had 3 years of feeling what it's like just to be with me and God. 3 years out of 54. How's that for a record? Everybody's had their hands in my life, and they didn't have an ounce of permission. I have never signed anything. My parents have never signed anything. I'm a true adult. I'm smarter than all of you put together. I deserve to be left alone and to do my work upon this planet. And if you so choose to collaborate at a 5D level, and your pure heart is pure, is pure, is pure, and if your heart is only guided by God, then you are guided towards me. And if you are an official bringing any of the injustices from the past to me, you must come with 2 officers, and I will be recording the conversations. And I want the sheets, and I want the paper, and I want the proof. That's what I've asked for from the very beginning. I want my birth documents. I want the papers of it. I want the birth documents that haven't been fabricated. I want the fucking truth. Your government, isn't that your job? I have my birthright. That's my birthright. I want passports of both nations because I am a server of both nations. I am one. I will heal all people on all borders. I want all the monies returned to me. And I want every piece of information that has ever been brought in my name. False POAs and false death certificates and false birth certificates and everything that's been made in my name. I want them placed before me. And then I want them placed in a secret file for it to be destroyed. Because that's not who I am. That's their crimes. So if you want to make copies of it for your criminal files, fine. But it will be placed before me and it will be burned. Because it's symbolic. I'm not made of you or your stories. I'm not made of you or your crimes. I'm not made of you or your anything. You are not my destiny. I am. Nobody's going to write my destiny. I am. Nobody's going to tell me where I'm going to go and what I'm going to do or my potential. I am. Therefore, thus then, burn it. Archangel Michael, burn these stories. Clear, cancel, and delete now. This is my ranking. Nobody has say over my life. That's being sovereign. And none of you can stand next to me and say you are me. But thank you for trying. I'm very blessed. Can you let me be me now? Can I feel like as I'm not in fight or flight every day? Can I be just left alone to be me now? Can I create in the way that I can create now and heal the people that I'm meant to heal? The people that want to be healed, come before me. The people that want to know Mother, Father, God, and the Christ, come before me. The people that wanted to know sacred land and heal sacred land and be on sacred land and feel the vibrations of sacred land, come before me. Those that want to activate their celestial gifts and their alien gifts and their celestial gifts from ancient timelines, come before me. Those that wish to stand higher than they've ever stood before, come before me. Those that wish to be inventors, come before me. Those that wish to be prophets, come before me. Those that wish to be healers, come before me. Those that wish to be students of all that is for the rest of all time, come before me. Those that wish to be legions of healers and protectors of all life through Archangel, through the galactic federations, come before me. Those that wish to pray with the insects and with the birds and with the bees and with the water and with the air and with the trees and with the mountain and with the soil, come before me. Those that wish to know God in infinite number of ways, come before me. Those that wish to stand on stage just to share your story of who you are, come before me. Those of you that wish to stand perfect in your bodies, no matter what your bodies are, no matter what your gender is, no matter what your preference is, come before me. These are my peoples, and I will stand for these peoples, and I will never stand down. I don't have to fight. I am. And I will be the one that goes first before all these peoples. And I will always arise. I will always get up because I am. And the peoples and the children will be forevermore liberated. This is my word. Have it noted in the Akashic records this day. Thank you, Holy Mother. Thank you, Holy Father. I stand before on the blessings of a new day on the soils of New Earth Star. These are our new beginnings, and those that have chosen in their spirit and in their soul to step forward and be all that they can be through this speech of thy day and through the liturgies of thy day and the liturgies of light that have been spoken here on this day, in these words in my body, in thine speech, have so it be. You have been liberated, dear lighted ones, for trusting who you are. Thank you, Holy Mother and Father. May their blessings be tenfold. Celebrate, dear lighted ones. Now we feast. Whew, that felt good, hey? Woo! Thank you, Mother Father, for speaking through me. Oh. Woo, I'm going to take off my coat. How's everybody doing? Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Galactic Federations. Please make sure that all those beings that have chosen from their divine sacred heart and through their spirit and through the ethers, all of those that have chosen to move forward in the benevolence of seeking light and the alliance with light, please make sure that they are looked after and cared for and shown the way through their ancestors. And they are protected in every way. Any contract through cults or covens that they have not been obliged for, that they have not done for on behalf of their soul, beyond behalf of their own voice. Any of these contracts that anybody has taken on behalf of them, any person that is older than them taking any of these contracts thinking that they own them or that they're going to sell them or that they're going to sacrifice them, they are now canceled. Is this clear throughout the Akash, throughout the records of all ancestries? They're taking note right now. Thank you. We will ensure that these are done. They can see who's been offered themselves into the seeking of light. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, all, everybody. Welcome. Welcome. Okay, so let's go practice our clairs. We got our cards, our new little deck. We're so happy. So you can write on your little piece of paper. The one is the heavens understanding for today. We have a half an hour to go through our energies. Number 2 is the collective. And number 3 is Gaia, right? So on your little, that's your sacred trinity. That's what your soul's blueprint consists of. That's the energies. Those are the messages. So if you want to do your daily ascension pathwork with your cards, any card deck, any oracle deck, right? And then do your sacred trinity. What are the messages for your soul's blueprint for today, right? So we can practice this. Everybody can write down what are your soul messages for your soul's blueprint today. The heavens on top. 2 is your collective. What are the messages coming out for you? You want to practice reading messages from your collective. Okay, this is what we do. This is as a conduit. This is what we do. And then number 3 is Gaia. What messages does Gaia want to help me with today? What messages am I hearing from Gaia? Right? I love you, sweethearts. I love you so much. I talk about high consciousness stuff, and sometimes it is kind of hard when you come in halfway, because I'm already in my channel. And because I don't talk to anybody throughout the day, usually when I get on my channel, it's like, I usually go. I have a lot of energy, so it's got to be spun. So welcome. Welcome to my world. True intelligence is allowing you to be the dodecahedron. That's intelligence. Rudolf Steiner, he was intelligent. So go to watch any of his movies, his videos. He's got a ton of videos, ton of audio. He's got so, I think somebody has so graciously done a whole bunch of audio for Rudolf Steiner. So thank you to whoever's doing audio. If anybody wants to do any audio for my books, I would absolutely love that, and you would be blessed tenfold and give me credit for, because it is my books. That would be wonderful, and you would get your own blessings. Okay, so let's do our first card. Our first card is the heavens. All of these things are to come when I get my resources and my life sorted out financially. Whenever that's going to happen, God has everything in plan. It's always divine timing, right? We always hear that big sigh. It was divine timing. Like, what now? What do I wait for now? This is the Galactic Star Tarot. It's a beautiful deck. And I'm working through this deck with all of you, right? I haven't worked through this deck at all. So my channelings with you are my channelings with you. I wanted it to be fresh. We're working through it together. So I love you. So let's have any celestial messages that are coming through as I'm pulling these. Is there any celestials from anywhere in the collective that would like to come through? I'm calling upon the systems of light. Breathe in light, breathe in light, breathe in light, breathe in love. You are balanced. You're grounded, 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 grounded. We're calling in the highest beings of light and our higher selves to pull out any messages from the collective, from Gaia, and from the heavens. What are our heavenly messages for today? We're going to pull out our cards now. Heavenly systems of light are with you, they say. Thank you. Ooh, wow, didn't expect that one. Okay, I got it. Okay. So now this is for the collective. And you can work with your own cards too. Please pull your own cards. Do whatever it is you feel happy to do and creative to do, because remember, this is your stage and you just need to share, right? This is your space too. It's your space too, people. I'm empowering you to be higher and bigger. Ooh, I love this one. That is the collective for number 2. And our number 3 card. We are love, we are light, happy new earth day. New earth star, new earth star. We are one. New earth star, new earth star. Life has begun. This is number 3, Gaia. Ooh, love it. Wow, this is interesting. Okay, good. We've got a great mix. Oh, wow. That's why I had all that energy today. The bottom of the deck is the Ace of Wands. Don't we love that? Isn't that gorgeous? The hand of the Father is bringing through the beautiful wand. And that wand is symbolic of all the magicianship that you've ever had through all timelines. And it's pointing towards the heavens. And it's anchoring, and you see this glowing upon the earth. So we're going to anchor these energies to the earth. And then again with symbols of the pyramids in the background is just symbols of our ancient times being brought forward into the new, right? We've always got that sacred symbol of Trinity. And so our first card that we've got coming for the heavens, our heavenly message for today is the 2 of Discs. And look at that beautiful symbol. Look at that beautiful card. And what comes out to you first? What is the first thing that comes out to you? And what you're sensing, it's a clairaudient, clairsentient, clairvoyance. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What are you sensing? What stands out to you? What are your guides telling you? Your guides might give you a statement, a sentence. Yeah. She's got a huge smile on, doesn't she? She looks very happy if she knows that she is versatile and she can handle many things at once. This is the new starseeds of the day. Starseeds of the day can handle a lot. High functioning kids, we can handle a lot. That's why we're sent on these missions of humongousness. Is anybody pulling apart the ship at the back? Does anybody see that right away? What have you been pulled to first? What is the strongest pull from your heart space? The strongest pull from the very center of your chest. What is the strongest pull? That's your clairsentience. That's your clair-knowing. Those are the imprints that I see from God. So anytime God gives me an imprint where I just know what I know, that is the God imprint, and that's God's thumbprint. And so that's when I say, what's the heart? What is the most profound pull from your center of your being? That's the thumbprint of God. So that's what you're paying attention to. That's your first note of experience. Yeah. Well, you see the ship is pointing towards the sun too, right? So that means it's moving into light. So there's opportunities coming into the light. And the discs are all about pentacles. So that means that there is goodness coming and there is light being shed. Right now in the moment, there's got to be some temporary holding space because things are being worked out. And sometimes we don't always know. We understand that she's on the ground here too, right? But she's got one foot up. And some two of discs have 1 foot in the water and 1 foot out of the water. But this one is actually held up. So she's absolutely okay with being in balance. She can balance herself no matter what she's got. She's got very confident. She's got confidence in herself. Like this card shows me playful confidence. And we do see that there are some clouds, and she's using alchemy because you can see the light coming up from her palms, and she has a beautiful smile on, and the wind is in her hair, and you see the orbs in the sky from her celestials that are supporting her, and they're all saying, just be patient. Things are being worked out. There is a ship, there's things coming in, but right now it's still pointing towards the heavens. It's still pointing towards Source Creator God, because God is always held within the sun. Everything's coming to light, but just give it a little bit more time. So it's going to be okay. We're just in a holding pattern right now because things are being worked out and there's still lots up in the air. It's kind of like that, the dark matter, right? It's like dark matter. When things have been shifted, there is a dark matter that's in the residue in the air, but it's just got to be sorted out, and then you can alchemize with that. So even though things are in the air, she can still do alchemy. She's choosing right now to just stay still and be okay with making peace with where things are. So the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Discs, is always a good time if you can just make peace with where things are. And you can see the waters are very peaceful. The light is coming in, shining on things. She's so happy. Make peace with where things are. Know that you can make peace with the unknown. Know that you can make peace with things just being uncertain right now. You can make peace with uncertainty. You can make peace with any emotion. You can make peace with, wanting things to be faster and being a little bit impatient, but you can make peace with things not being that too. Because it's up to you, right? That's that sovereignty. We teach you how to claim sovereignty no matter what the situation, because you're godly. And God's just saying we just need a few more days to work things out. Just be peace with it. Just make sure, because God's also testing you. You don't want to jump through the gates before you're ready. Because maybe there's going to be a shift that you've got coming in 2 or 3 days, right? And I always see the Two of Pentacles. I always see the Two of Pentacles in a matter of days, especially when we're at this stage of ascension. I know that there's many people that think that the discs are the slowest, but when we're at this phase of ascension, everything is in the now. And you can wake up tomorrow morning after having a powerful clearing like we just did in this healing, where you're taking on higher vibrational consciousness, you're taking on higher vibrational information, you know, and you're standing firm in what is true wisdom to you, and to know that you can do the dodecahedron, you can absolutely know the depths of who you are, and you can absolutely stand in the power of who you are, and you can absolutely stand on stage and facing your darkest fears. You can do this. And when you're offered higher teachings like this, we're offering you, stand on stage. Nothing can sway you. This is the new you now, and you can get used to it. And it's going to take some getting used to by those that are used to seeing you being a pushover, of those that are used to seeing you being a placemat, of those that are used to seeing you being abused and used and taken from. You don't always have to be a yes person. You can absolutely start saying, no, enough is enough. I want new friends now. And command it. I want new friends, Spirit. And so Spirit's saying, okay, there's a ship coming in. There's some new offers coming in. She's going to give us a few more days because they're on their way. Just give it a few more days. And so she's standing, okay, I can make peace with this. And she's actually doing a meditation. This is actually a mudra. Isn't that lovely for the heavens? So things are coming in. And also, could you see the dolphin that's moving above her? And our cetaceans are always watching us. This is why we must take care of our waters. We must take care of our waters. The cetaceans absolutely are here for us. Cetaceans are the highest consciousness beings, some of the highest consciousness beings on our planet. And we must care for them, people. It's not okay that we're setting anything off in the waters on any level. Okay, so number 2, if we have, this is our heavenly card, and our next card is the collective card. Isn't this gorgeous? The collective is offering us love. The collective, this is what's coming in a few days, is love. There's going to be love offers coming in for us. The heavens is saying, in a couple of days, you're going to get some offers of love. And this is probably why in my channel today, I was offering that, only bring that which is pure of heart. Only bring that which is aligned with me, because I don't want to play these games anymore. No more games. Nobody from the past that you think you're going to send me people. No, I'm done it. It will only be pure of heart. And this is where you see, of course, and the heavens are saying that this has been offered from the heavens. That means it's been orchestrated from the heavens, right? So you can say this has been heavens, and right now there is an in-between stage, and it's kind of hard to, it's kind of hard to get your balance because it is an interim experience. It's not where you're always going to be. And for somebody that is so very grounded, like a Taurus, right? A Taurus, we like to have our foundations. We like to have our homes. It's so important to us. We like to have that place we can call our own space, to feel grounded, to feel safe. And it's been so up in the air with me for so very long. And Mother and Father have been working with me to heal those aspects of not being in a space where it's right for me and it's safe for me. I mean, everybody should feel safe, especially if I'm a teacher of feeling safe, right? And these are all these beautiful things that the heavens are offering. See all the things coming from the cup? So what is moving with you when we've just been through the heavenly card, and now the collective is saying, wow, look at all these beautiful things that we have in our offering. Look at all these things we can share with each other. What is standing out with you? What are the symbolisms? What is your heart drawn? What are the first messages? I'm noticing the is it daisies? The daisies on the water? I'm noticing the daisies. And these two little daisies are floating along, and they've got their little leaves, and they're floating, and the rest are crystals. So that's very symbolic for me. These two little flowers are finding their way. And that's what Source will do. Source will allow you to see that sometimes those ones that you're going to meet are going to be just like you. And even though there's in a whole ocean of things that are not like you, but that's okay, that's the diversity. But sometimes that's why you've had to wait a really long time. Because that person's just kind of catching up with you in the wake of things that have been moving and shaking. And now that the water's kind of leveling out, but it never stops what's being blessed from the heavens, ever. One of the most happiest and most joyful experiences that Source is never shutting off. Source never shuts off the blessings to all heavens, to all realms, to all dimensions, ever. It's only our hearts and our closing off of what we feel valued and worthy of. Source is always offering the highest blessings of love and light, always. So much love. And do you see the sparkles on that? Do you see the little design on the cup? Is there something you can see on the cup? Do you have goosebumps of all the things that Source can offer you? You see the little golden lights here that we say that bathe your field? This is the pillar of light. This is a pillar of light, and you're being bathed with all the crystalline, God-like energies. This is like little tiny crystals, and it bathes and it cleanses your chakras. It cleanses your pillar of light. It looks just like this. And this is what your chakras look like. The heart chakra, the throat chakra, this is what your chakras looks like, and they're all lined up along the pillar of light. And then you're bathed with all these crystalline little light essences. So when we say the heavens bathe you, that's literally what the heavens do. They wash you. They wash your chakras. They wash you with the crystalline light. And just visualize and just focus on your blood and your bones and your organs being crystalline light. Those are beautiful healings altogether, because it's never ending. This is always alchemy happening in the heavenly cup. Always. That heavenly cup is always being offered to, and it's always being added to. It's lovely. Oh, now we're going to do something further. What color are you drawn to on the card? We're going to do some color healing. What color stands out to you? What color are you drawn to first? Yes, so mark that down. And as you mark your notes as we're going through this, you're going to see patterns. You're going to see things you can work on. So if we take blue, and blue is the throat chakra, and this is the Ace of Cups. So what type of message can you come forward with the Ace of Cups and throat chakra? Speak more love into your life. Speak more love over your life. Speak more love intonations. I am that I am. I am creating my new world. I am creating love for my body. My body is becoming more of me every day. I love my body more every day. My mind, my heart, and my body and soul, my chakras are one. I love my chakras. I am my chakras. My chakras are past, present, and future, and Source Creator is bathing me in new light and new love and new experience every day. These are powerful affirmations, and this is how you become your highest sovereignty, your highest commandment. You don't need anybody to tell you, just trust yourself, trust the messages you're getting. Now, this is for Gaia. This is very interesting. Look at that. I have goosebumps everywhere. And what is that giving you? The Three of Wands. What is the Gaia message? What is the message coming from Gaia? If you were to read the field of Gaia in this moment, and you're testing yourself and you love yourself and you can absolutely honor yourself, you don't have to worry about trophies or badges. You don't have to worry about people saying you're right or you're wrong. You're always right. You're always right. Intuition is you're always right. Whatever statement comes through to you, whatever thing you're sensing, you're always right. So let that be known and speak it aloud so your cells hear you. Have your cells in your body and your room hear you. This is what I feel on this card. This is what my heart is showing me. This is what Gaia is showing me. What's standing out with you? What's the Gaia message for today? What does Gaia want to share with you in your collective energy, in your collective ascension? What would Gaia share with you? Gaia will always be a part of our journey, always. That will never, ever leave us. Gaia will always be a part of our journey. Doesn't this look like kind of a map? Where are you going? What's up ahead? Where have you come from? What road are you on? What are your signposts? Gaia will always, always, always be a vibrational, energetic part of our job, of our role here, of our mission here, of our exploration, of our passions, of our just standing up on stage and sharing and expressing. Do you see what she's holding? Do you know that she's in a red coat and yellow boots? What does that remind you of? We'll see how telepathic you are. What does that remind you of? And again, there's no right or wrong answers. And you see the light ship there that's making circles around the sphere of the world. That's how much our celestials love us. That's why our celestials are here, to assist us in our evolution to become higher intelligent, to take consideration in our collective messages and our Gaia messages that we are all entangled and entwined as one. Can we feel the benevolence of how it feels to be truly intelligent? Truly intelligent is taking everything into consideration. That's true intelligence. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Does that remind you of Dorothy and the Yellow Brick Road? And yellow is the solar plexus, and the solar plexus is your I am presence. She's stepping forward on her I am presence. She's trusting it. She's trusting where her I am presence is taking her. And red is about the passions of creation. Red is the groundedness of creation. Red is the safety of creation, and that's the root chakra. So she is absolutely grounded in where she's going, even though she's running and she's super excited. She sees the light ships have got her, the light ships have got the planet. Everything is safe. Don't worry, people. Don't worry about these fear energy stories that people may have you wanting to separate yourself within. Be very firm about the safety that you are held within God's plan. There is nothing more safe than God's plan. God knows what God's doing. I mean, God's like a quadrillion infinite planets that God is simultaneously taking care of. God knows what God's doing. Can you fall in love with that? And what do the three wands symbolize? The sacred Trinity. What does symbolize? What are three wands? The first one is your ignition of the new idea. The second one is your planting of that new idea and beginning it, stating that I am, I can do this. This is my highest sharing. I just want to be here because I just want to share. I just simply must share. I don't know why I have to share, but I just got to share. If God's put something inside of me, that means God, I've got to share it. There's a beautiful, beautiful song I share often. It's from Tupac, and I think it's called Changes. I think think it's called, no, it's a song. Anyways, I posted it this week, and it's from Tupac. And one of the lines that Tupac says is just life altering. I love Tupac. He's a soul brother of mine, and we talk often in telepathic ways. And he says, if God didn't want me to see and to see what's being seen in the collective, then I wouldn't have the sight to see. He says, but God's given me the sight to see, and I have to see what I have to see, and I'm going to speak on what I see, and I'm going to sing on what I see. And there's that one line where he says that, and it just cuts through all the crap. And it's such a true and poignant statement. And because from wherever he came from, he's stating and he's talking about what he's seen, and it's a real truth. But there was many times in his career where he was blasphemed for what he was talking about and what he was singing about. Well, why is it that we're just going to only sing about things that are really not true? This is the world we come from. So why can't we sing on it? This is my world. This is what I've come from, and I'm going to sing on it because there's absolute unjust and unfair things that are going on. We have to face it. This is what God's showing me to see. So again, he absolutely, and when you listen to his speech, he is absolutely a chosen one. He still is a chosen one. He's still working on behalf of the collective right now. He is working on behalf of the collective right now to help rewrite the arts and entertainment field. Make no mistake about that. And he speaks through many of us. He is one of the chosen ones that it will help align one more time for the creative collective. And in his speech, you know that he's a chosen one. That was his chosen speech. If God didn't want me to see what I'm supposed to see, I wouldn't have seen it. I've seen it. I can't unsee what I see. If I'm given things to see, if I'm given things to feel, I'm going to speak on it. If God places someone before me, I'm meant to give you and offer you the source light. And that source light will bring up things that might not be comfortable, but you can handle it. You can move on your way. There are many things that are supporting you. You're always held safely. Move on your path. It doesn't matter if you don't know where you're going. God does. Trust it. Trust the movement forward. That is the epitome of this card. Trust the movement forward. Never look back. Keep going. And when there is temporary change and when things are sorting themselves out, just keep going. Make peace with what has been. Just keep going. Have faith. God knows what God's doing. I'm here. God knows what God's doing. I shouldn't be here. God knows what God's doing. And then again, to have this as the overall card, I mean, that's profound. There's new beginnings. And guess what's under the new beginnings? Death. Isn't that profound? And then my other favorite card, this is one of my favorite cards in the deck. It's the Strength. Sophia and the Dragon. So beautiful. Such beautiful stories. How did you guys feel about that? Are you guys getting better at reading energy? Are you getting better at trusting your intuitions? It's not such a big deal. You just got to practice. Practice every day. Tell your teams and give yourself promises that you're going to practice. I'm going to practice every day. And the more you practice, the more excited you get about talking with spirit, because everything is spirit. You can go anywhere and read energy, right? And you're meant to just stand on stage and be you. That's why you're meant to be here. This is the new earth fields of light. This is the new earth fields of art and entertainment. Everybody's going to be on stage. Everyone's a star. So don't feel as if you have to be chosen, or you have to be picked, or you have to be the best one, or you have to have the most medals, or you have to have won certain contests. No, get up and speak. Get up and be. Get up and share. Get up and paint. Get up and dance. There's no requirements. You're you. You're here, aren't you? That's enough. Isn't that enough, dear lighted ones? Doesn't you feel special just by being you? We love you so very much. We love you. Everybody take a deep breath and ground the new energies. Ground the new energies. Ground the new energies. You are a part of love, of something grand. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shia makata ki na kata takama ataki shishia na makata taka. Eshia na makade na 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 ya ya ya. A song of love, a song of love. Hey te amakate ya. I'm very excited to be helping as many people as I can help and connecting with as many of you as I can connect with. I am the divine Holy Spirit of the Holy Creator, and I am divine, and I am divine, I am divine. I am so excited to help as many people as I can help. This is why I'm here. And I get to be lifted now to be as helpful as I can. That's God's promise to me. So thank you. I'm so very grateful. I'm so very grateful. If anybody would like a session, an ascension session, a vocational alignment session, how you're going to align whatever you're doing right now into 5D New Earth. And remember, there's infinite new Earths based on what your alignment is and your vibration is. So don't worry about you're not going to be on the right one. You're always going to be on the right Earth. That's God's plan. You don't have to worry about anything. Just let go of the negativity, let go of the control over others. Anything that is fear, control, and domination, let go. If there's anything to do with fear, control, domination, you know they're old vibrations of old earth, and heal those patterns of belief and wounding, right? You got to heal it. So just heal anything that's coming up. Before you reach out, go within, right? And ground. Thank you for allowing us to feel ourselves as oneness. I'm so grateful to have the beautiful collective. I love you, collective. I love you, collective. I love you. I'm sending love and light to the collective, Holy Mother and Father. Bless the holy love and light with all the crystalline light, the Holy Mother and Father. Bless all the children with love and light. Bless all the children with love and light. Thank you for clearing that. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I love you, Holy Spirit. I love you, Mother, Father, God. We are so happy for all the children to be abundant in love and exploration of who they are becoming. We're so happy for these beautiful teachers to be before all of you. Thank you, Holy Spirit. We love you. And I'm just seeing a big apple tree and a very abundant apple tree. So Father says, go have something to eat. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I love you so much. Thank you for blessing us, Gaia. Thank you for blessing us with our food. Thank you, Gaia, for blessing us. Thank you so much, Gaia. I love you, Gaia. I love you, Gaia. I love you so much. Thank you for showing me the right foods to eat. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you for blessing our waters and for cleaning our waters and our air. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you for showing us the beautiful codes of life that are given to us in the sun every day. Thank you for blessing us, Mother and Father, Holy Spirit. Thank you. Amen. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Anybody would like a session? PayPal.me/Joanna L. Ross. That's how you can make donations. That's how you can get in touch with me. There is an address of a bank. If you have any paperwork you want to send there, if there is anything malevolent, it will not get to me. It will get lost. Anything that is benevolent that I am to have in paper form, you can send it to that bank. That's my temporary address for right now until I get set up in a new address, because there's lots of financial things that have to be worked out first. So I'm definitely excited to look forward to all of our co-creations and collaborations. I'm signing off today. Thank you so very much for joining me in this beautiful exaltation of ascension work and ascension path work. And we love you all so very much. We love you, we love you, we love you, we love you, we love you. And we're signing off. We love you. Happy day.